Good morning, I'm Abhidesh Shrestha, and these are the headlines for this hour. Oli government completes 1 year, ambitious projects declared one after another, while basic tasks remain due. Premier Oli claims foundation for long-term development prepared. Preparations underway to impeach CIA Commissioner Raj Narayan Pathak following revelation he took 9.3 million rupees in bribe money. At least 34 Indian paramilitary officers killed in a suicide attack on a vehicle convoy in the Indian-administered Kashmir. And Nepal clashing against Myanmar today in the finals of the Women Gold Cup football tournament underway in India. Opportunity for Nepal to win its first international title. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has claimed that his one-year term in office has been productive. Addressing the nation from Singhadarbar to mark the government's first year in office yesterday, Prime Minister Oli said that the government had built the foundation for socio-economic transformation and operation of long-term development projects. Prime Minister Oli, who spoke in front of ministers, secretaries and guests from other sectors, also vented ire against the critics of the government. Premier Oli stated that those who had posed obstacles to development were questioning the lack of development. Oli added that he didn't deem it necessary to answer people who were against development activities. Prime Minister Oli also described the allocation of employees at the federal, provincial and local levels as an achievement. He claimed that most works related to staff adjustment had concluded within a year. However, the government has not even adjusted 2% of the total staff. Oli claimed that the government was successful in terms of formulation of laws. 25 laws were formulated from the federal parliament in 1 year, while 23 bills are under consideration. Prime Minister Oli claimed that a conducive environment was created for the promotion of investment in Nepal for the first time in history, saying that 499 industries were registered with proposals for investment worth 198 billion rupees since he took over the helm of the government. Oli added that there was no point in criticizing the lack of foreign investment. Highlighting other achievements of the first year of the government, Prime Minister Oli included the 22-hour operation of the Tribhuvan International Airport, construction of 497 kilometers of road, construction of 417 suspension bridges, and construction of 8-kilometer-long tunnel at Bheri Babai diversion, among others. The government led by KP Sharma Oli, which boasts a two-thirds majority, has completed its one-year term. It would not be possible to assess and evaluate the government with a 5-year term just based on 1 year of its functioning. However, the government has failed to deliver on its promises and carry out even the basic works that it could have performed. Instead, it appeared more focused on large-scale announcements and promotional activities. Laws in terms of fundamental rights were formulated, while laws related to the implementation of federalism are in the process of being formulated. The Social Security Scheme and the Prime Minister Employment Program are a few of the positive efforts from the Oli-led government. Despite being positive, the government's ability to ensure the implementation will only make such programs productive. Otherwise, they will only be limited to announcements. The government declared of putting an end to syndicate in the transport sector, but stepped back on its announcement. The assurance on Melamchi water reaching the taps of Kathmandu was never realized, while the project has now hit uncertainty as the contractor company has abandoned the project. Actions against contractors failing to meet the project deadline and investigation on the 38-quintal gold smuggling scandals are still pending. Many decisions were made in favor of sugar industries in the name of providing proper compensation for the cane farmers, while the farmers are yet to receive their due payment. During this period, foreign investment was dismal, while the indicators for investment-friendly environment did not improve. Foreign investment has dropped by 70% to 4.36 billion rupees in comparison to the previous year. A study by the World Bank has shown that the environment for doing business in Nepal dropped by 5 points to drop Nepal down to the 190th position. Despite visible efforts to create a balanced relationship with the two neighboring nations and cooperation with other nations, naive diplomacy was evident with a few powerful nations in recent time. Despite a few challenges related to the management of federalism and negative economic indicators, the Nepal Communist Party-led government failed to ignite optimism and enthusiasm in the public. As a consequence, the public did not get a feel of transformation as per their expectations. Given the scenario, the Oli-led government has failed to be any different than coalition governments of the past. It has been revealed that a commissioner at the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIA, a constitutional body responsible for taking action against those abusing public positions, himself has been taking bribes. Pressure is mounting for legal actions along with impeachment against CIA Commissioner Rajnayan Pathak, who was found to receive 9.3 million rupees to settle a case filed at the anti-graft body. It has been found that Pathak, who hails from a public prosecutor background, had received a total of 9.3 million rupees in bribe to dismiss the case related to the irregularities in the share of properties of Nepal Engineering College. Action from the government boasting a 2/3 majority remains to be seen, as the commissioner of the CIA himself has been found of receiving bribe to settle a case. The question was raised even at the regular press conference held by the government spokesperson. The parliament can investigate the involvement of Commissioner Pathak in the apparent settling of the case. Pathak now has two options, either to resign or face impeachment. The government has already hinted towards proceeding with an impeachment motion. Nepal Communist Party Parliamentary Committee is making preparations to file an impeachment motion if Pathak does not resign by today. However, campaigners of good governance say that Pathak's resignation or an impeachment would not be adequate. Pathak was present at the stage when the CIA made public the actions it had initiated against corruption a few days ago. The reputation of the CIA has now been seriously dented, as an office bearer of its own team has been charged of receiving bribes. Welcome back. The police have confiscated 18 kilograms of gold from Punarvas of Kantipur in the Nepal-India border region. The police have informed that the gold was seized from one local resident, Shankar BK's house in Dasrath Basti, Punarvas. The police have also arrested Lakshman Tirua of Suklafanta for his alleged involvement in the gold smuggling. Meanwhile, the police have also confiscated 5.6 kilograms of gold from Tirua last night. Police have said that the house owner BK managed to escape during the raid by the police team, which included members from the Central Investigation Bureau. Police have suspected that the gold was in course of being smuggled to India. And it's time now for the international update. At least 34 Indian paramilitary officers have been killed in a suicide attack on a vehicle convoy in the Indian-administered Kashmir. Police said that a car filled with explosives rammed a bus carrying the officers to Srinagar, the capital of the Indian-administered Kashmir. The Pakistan-based Islamist group Jaish-e-Mohammed has said that it carried out the bombing. It is the deadliest attack on security forces in Kashmir in 2 decades. The blast took place on the heavily guarded Srinagar-Jammu highway, about 20 kilometers from Srinagar city. A senior police official has said that it was not clear about how many vehicles were in the convoy that was on its way from Jammu to Srinagar, I beg your pardon. He added that a car overtook the convoy and rammed into a bus with 44 personnel on board. Welcome back. The 2/3 majority government formed under the leadership of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has marked its 1 year. The powerful government, which was expected to provide stability, announced numerous ambitious projects and promises in its first year. In this context, we asked the citizens from across the country regarding their opinion about the first year of the government. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
सरकारले अब केही लोकप्रिय योजनाहरू पहिले ल्याएको भए तापनि अहिले त्यो लोकप्रिय योजनाहरू कुनै पनि कार्यान्वयन भएको देखिँदैन। यो खाली सरकारले एक किसिमको पब्लिकलाई चाहिँ दिएको चकलेट जस्तो मात्रै हामीले आवाज भइरहेछ अहिले।
मलाई त खै नराम्रो भनौँ भने कतै कतै बाटोहरू पनि बनिरहेछन्, राम्रो भनौँ भने आफ्नो घरबाट निस्किने ठाउँमा 1 वर्षै लगभग भयो होला, घरि मेलम्चीले पाइप खनिदिन्छ, भङ पारिदिन्छ, अनि त्यसपछि फेरि सडक मेलम्चीले पुर्छ, सडकले खनिदिन्छ।
भताभुङ्ग भएको देशलाई बनाउन केही टाइम लाग्छ हैन। जस्तो अब काफी प्रोजेक्सन आइरहेछ, अब यो जहाज भनौँ, सिप भनौँ हैन, अनि त्यसपछि अब रेल भनौँ हैन, तिनी कुरा देख्दाखेरि डेफिनेटली इट विल टेक टाइम।
सफलता भन्दा पनि असफलतातिर गएको छ। संघीय गणतन्त्रको जुन मूल्य मान्यता थियो त्यसको विपरीत काम गरिरहेको छ।
जुम्ला कालीकोट जाँदाखेरि बाटो छैन, राम्रोसँग गाडीको एक्सिडेन्टहरू कति बढिरहेको छ। र अर्को कुरा त्यहाँका आमा दिदीबहिनी चेलीबेटीहरूलाई सुत्केरी हुन्छ। त्यहाँ सुत्केरीको बेला समस्या कस्तो छ भन्दा त्यहाँबाट गाडी यहाँ ल्याउने बेलासम्म उसको मृत्यु हुने अवस्था छ।
टोलमा पानीका स्वास्थ्यका शिक्षाका कुराहरू छन् हैन, यी कुराहरू सबै समस्या समाधान हुन्छ भन्ने लागेको थियो, तर यो 1 वर्षमा चाहिँ त्यस्तो खासै केही उपलब्धिहरू देखिएको छैन।
कतिपय कुराहरू बिग्रेका बनाउँदै जाँदाखेरि र अहिले अब बन्ने क्रममा पनि भएको हुनाले हिजो मात्र तपाईँले हेर्नुभयो स्वरोजगारका कुराहरू प्रधानमन्त्रीले बोलिसक्नुभयो भने अब नेपालले नयाँ काँचुली फेर्दैछ।
सरकारले जुन भाषण गरिरहेको छ, बोलेको छ, त्यो अनुसार जनतालाई चाहिँ सन्तोषजनक चाहिँ काम भएको छैन।
1 वर्ष ठट्यौलीमै गएको छ, अहिलेसम्म बोली मात्रै बोल्ने, काम केही नगर्ने।
It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: how do you see the government's one-year tenure? Your options are A, commendable, B, average, and C, disappointing. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal is clashing against Myanmar today in the finals of the Women Gold Cup football tournament underway in India. The final, which will be played in India's Bhubaneswar, is scheduled to kick off this evening at 6:15 p.m. Nepal time. The Nepalese team had suffered a 3-0 defeat against Myanmar in an earlier match of the tournament. Nepal, the weakest ranked team in the tournament, won both the remaining matches after losing the first one against Myanmar. Nepal defeated India 2-1 and blanked Iran 3-0 in its last match and booked a spot in the finals. Myanmar won all its 3 matches in the tournament, while India won 1 and lost 2. Iran couldn't win any of its matches. The confidence in the Nepal women's team is high ahead of the final after defeating India in their own home turf. The Nepalese women's team has an opportunity to win its first international title if it defeats Myanmar in the finals this evening. Chelsea claimed a narrow 2-1 victory over Malmö in the Europa League in Sweden for the first leg of their last 32 tie. Ross Barkley poked in a curling cross from Pedro in the 30th minute in the first half. Olivier Giroud scored in the 58th minute after Willian cut the ball back, having beaten his opponent in the box. Malmö ensured it was a nervy ending for Chelsea as Anders Christensen slotted home in the 80th minute. Chelsea remain unbeaten in the Europa League this season before the second leg at Stamford Bridge on 21st of February. In another London match, Alexander Lacazette was sent off as Arsenal slumped to a disappointing first leg defeat against Bate. Borisov Stanislav Dragun scored the game's only goal just before halftime in the 45th minute. Lacazette had a goal disallowed early in the second half before being sent off for elbowing Alexander Filipovic. A resolute Bate held on for the win, their first over an English side at home in European competition. And now, before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Oli government completes 1 year. Ambitious projects declared one after another, while basic tasks remain due. Premier Oli claims foundation for long-term development prepared. Preparations underway to impeach CIA Commissioner Rajnaran Pathak following revelation he took 9.3 million rupees in bribe money. At least 34 Indian paramilitary officers killed in a suicide attack on a vehicle convoy in the Indian-administered Kashmir. And Nepal clashing against Myanmar today in the finals of the Women Gold Cup football tournament underway in India. Opportunity for Nepal to win its first international title. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good morning.